Hi and welcome to Two Truths and a Life. My name is Beáta Bena, and long story short, I am entering my last year of my 20s. And I can't think of a better way to celebrate it than discussing important events that molded me with the most important people in my life. Today with me, I have Kristen Raath, my best friend, ex-colleague, and home slice. Welcome, Kristen.
Oh, thank you.
How are you?
I'm good.
Thank you.
I'm blushing. I don't know if you can tell.
I can tell. Thank you so much for joining me today. I'm very excited to have you.
Me too.
And I've got 3 very exciting prompts that my sister and the floor manager, Chidi, put together for me. I actually haven't seen them yet, so I don't know what's on them.
Okay.
And basically the idea is you go first and you tell your answer to it, and then I tell my answer, and then we discuss it.
Okay.
And it's based off our friendship.
Cute.
Are you ready?
I'm so ready.
Okay.
Okay, can I pick anyone?
You can pick anyone.
I'm gonna go with the middle one. Ooh. If friendship acted as a mirror for us to see who we truly are, then this friendship has shown me that I am.
That's a good one.
Whoa,
I see
that's,
it.
yes. Okay, so this friendship, I think because we're in our 5th year of being friends, so this friendship has really shown me a lot in different phases that I am. Firstly, it showed me that I need the connection that you and I got from the beginning. I craved it. And I don't hang out with girls. I used to just have like a boyfriend, and you were kind of my first like girlfriend, hence the 2 different ones. And so at first it was that I need to open myself up to friendships. And then I realized that I'm not a good friend. That's in the nicest way, but you're always so kind and so like for me, and I didn't necessarily go with the same open heart towards the friendship that I would usually do towards a relationship. And what else? It's been 5 years. I'm trying to go through the files now.
A lot has happened.
A lot has happened. I think mostly the positive side of our friendship, beyond the growth that I've gotten from us being friends, is that you make me feel like more okay to be myself. I think that's kind of, yes, it's called like tissues. I don't think it's gonna be so sad so quickly. Yeah, like I'm happy to be me when I'm done speaking to you. I'm happy to have like all my nitty-gritties. You make my nitty-gritties feel powerful and not a weakness. So, but that's what I feel now. Obviously, we've had a journey to get here. I can think a lot more, but like we can't sit here the entire day.
We're all gonna need those tissues.
We're gonna need those tissues.
I just want to add to what you said now. I don't think you were ever a bad friend. And I'm sorry you felt that way. I don't think you realize how good of a friend you are.
I think I could have done more. I think there was a lot of, but I needed to let my boundaries go when it was left. But I was more boundaried as a friend than a bad friend. But I didn't need the boundaries because I was safe in the friendship. So it was my own demons and shadows like that I needed to shine light on. And you helped me shine a light on my shadows and become a better version of me. Then indirectly that becomes a better friend. Yeah.
Okay. If friendships acted as a mirror for us to see who we truly are, then this friendship has shown me that I am. So we live in a time where being very close to God, especially in like creative spaces, is not the most popular thing. It's not the most popular conversation.
Yeah.
And I've always had an interesting relationship with the Lord growing up. Something I felt very private about because I didn't feel like people could necessarily understand or relate in the way that I celebrated my relationship with God. And then I met you and I was I remember being completely shocked at the fact that there was someone out there that comes from a completely different background as myself. Like, completely. You come from Nelspruit, like your school background, everything, even your family setup, not having as many siblings as I do. And then having so many similarities in our like quirks, but also in our flaws or the things we struggle with, but then also this absolute devotion to our relationship with God. And I think the day we decided to speak about it, there was like no stopping us. So one thing I've learned, or the mirror of this friendship, I think I learned that there is validity in having a unique experience with the Lord. It doesn't make you less devoted if you are someone that can get triggered by things, or that has a more edgier side, or that is more creative. Or like, I mean, we were on Wyfie. The things we did for the arts, you know, there are people that would argue and say, girl, you prayed before you did that scene. But you and I get it, because our understanding is that, you know, you can't judge individual experiences, and you always wore your relationship, not just with God, but everyone around you. You wore it so openly, and you never shied away from emotions. And me being a very reserved person growing up, like, I realized that there's a part of me that yearns for that. And I think that's where we found each other. There's something in both of us that we kind of yearned for, and went like, oh, it's somewhere in there, and I need to be with this person to bring it out. And I felt like we always completed each other's sentences. So
I just want to say that.
yeah,
that's like a...
So for those of you that don't know, Kristen and I met on a job a couple of years ago called Seven de Laan, where she played Amorey Velman and I played Shady Vermeulen. And we were dressing room mates. And since Seven de Laan, we thought we were going to part ways, because I was moving to Cape Town from Wyfie. And then lo and behold, Kristen lands the other lead role in Wyfie, and we're in another long form project together. And yeah,
hey, and 3 times a charm. I'm still holding on to that.
Yeah, who knows? 2025, eh?
2025.
I have a funny feeling about it. You?
I think I don't want to fixate, because if I fixate, I'm scared I'm going to interrupt. So I know at the right time we will exactly be at the right spot. But I feel we're probably going to end up on a long thing again. With different characters.
What if we play enemies? I think
I would
we'll
actually
kill
enjoy
it.
that.
We'll kill it. Do you want to go on to the next one?
Yeah, why not? Okay. Well, just going to choose the next one then. Okay, the film and media industry can be brutal on any relationship. However, this friendship has stood the test of time because... So, I think because, like, we all, I believe in star signs. It is a, you know, it's a take everything with a pinch of salt in life, but be open to anything in life. And our line is very honest. So I think the moment we try to shy away from our honesty, we avoided one another, and it was clear as daylight. So, and then we have to get together and have a chat about everything. So I think the honesty in our relationship, like, has really helped us through every phase and facet, not only the industry, but I think it helped a lot, because I could tell you, hey, I'm competitive. And sometimes when you're doing great, it makes me, I don't want to take it away from you, but like, I want to compete. And you could tell me that is not your being at all. And you just want to be like, let me do my thing and let you do your thing, because it's so different in our placements in the industry. And so I really think our honesty and being open to change and adapting and kind of not seeking faults in the other person, but rather trying to find it in yourself. Because I think we were both so committed to our friendship that we were willing to change for it. And that's not the love that I've found in a lot of people. So I knew I had to stick around. Otherwise, I would be depressed without friends. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. No, that's a very good point, the communication and the honesty. And it's so interesting for me when you said that the moment we started getting like moving away from our own truths, there would immediately be a divide between us. So if you and I are going through something where you're battling with something that is pushing you further and further away from your own truth, it's like we knew.
But we knew.
We couldn't face each other because that person would know. And that reminds me of having a sibling, because you know how often they say you're not your worst version, but your siblings can see right through you because they lived with you for most of your life. So when you are in a bad mood, you can be false or try with people that don't know you, but the sibling will know. You just said that hi a little bit weird now, so you immediately go into the space.
Yes,
and
true.
I think in the film and media industry, like it says, it can be brutal on any relationship. Because, you know, there's so many people that we engage with. At every job, you meet so many incredible people and all this. It's like a buffet of friendships.
Yeah.
And everybody, there's a lot of kindness and beauty. But I do think that there are friendships in life that they just hit you differently. So you have a sense of feeling understood, and like you understand the person and you don't have to over explain.
Yeah.
So I do believe that the reason our friendship stood the test of time, which is 5 years, we still have 25 more years, and then we can add to that.
Yeah.
But was because I think deep down, regardless of any place we were at, any dishonest place, I think we only ever get hurt because we know that we both care about each other. And even in your upsetness, if you were to do something that upset me or vice versa, you're upset because that was crappy, but I love you. Can't we just not do this, you know?
Yeah.
And because you feel safe and you feel like, I know for a fact that if you do something weird, it's out of character.
Yes.
It's a trigger.
Yeah.
There's not a part of me that goes, oof, I should have known.
Yeah. Question your being. I never had to question your being.
Started with, like you said, communication and honesty right in the beginning, because you came into my life saying, I want to be your friend. And that was a risk.
It was. I put my heart on the line.
And since you've done that, I was like, now we can't, there's no embarrassment in this relationship. You just have to talk about everything.
Well, it was very embarrassing when I accidentally said I love you too, because I thought you said you loved me. Remember that day?
I did.
For context, we were sitting outside of work and we were amongst like numerous people, and she mouthed something to me and I went, oh, I love you too. And she's like, I just said thank you.
Sorry, I'm going to cut quickly. Like breaking out in hives a bit. I don't want to cover up.
I don't think I can cover it up.
Is
it's like it's just an emotional response.
Is it okay?
Yeah.
Ja, dis cool, maar ons kan dit even inbring. Talk about it.
Yeah.
Are you fine with it? Or you just wanted to double check?
No, I'm fine with it.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Sorry, then
No.
carry on.
It's just my bodying.
That's perfect.
Body.
Make sure you're fine with your bodying.
That's pretty. You want to see if my sis? No, I actually just said thank you. I didn't say love you. And I had to face that in front of everybody. But then that inspired you to tell me later on that you loved me too. Yes. So I saw that as a catalyst that needed to happen.
I wanted to be, like, if I say it, it must coming from a truthful place.
No, I think that's also why I don't down our friendship, because you really take your time. You're not somebody that goes in with everything and then realize, oh my word, I shouldn't be here, and then try and retract. That's me. I've learned a lot from you. But
that's beautiful though. You get like the taste of everything. Your cup is full, your heart is on your sleeve, and that's inspiring.
Some people will call that greedy. You know. Okay, we have one more.
Yes, last card.
Okay. I questioned and doubted the future of our friendship when?
Well,
okay, we've been at it for a while.
And we love talking about it. Whenever people tell us, you guys are such a cute friend, we almost were it.
Yeah, absolutely, a couple of times. So I think I've had a couple of questioning and doubtful moments. Sometimes I was the trigger and then sometimes you were the trigger. But I think a moment in time where I was scared of losing you and almost like heartbroken because I thought I did was when Laan ended. Well, you left Laan and then I had to stay behind and you moved to Cape Town and I was left in Joburg and I thought, okay, that's going to be the end because I don't think we were in the same level of life, of living. You were like spreading your wings and I still thought that I have wounds in mine where I just didn't actually see my own capability. And I think I envied the fact that you saw your capability and you went after it and you kind of grabbed onto life and started flying. And I thought I wasn't ready. And I think I questioned also like God's intention with me through it because why wouldn't I feel ready and why would you be ready? But we were just on the same level of living and now all of a sudden you can go and I can't go. And it wasn't really about you. It was more about like me. And then God forced me to also start living because I followed your booty to Cape Town. And then I realized that it was just my own ego holding me back and probably resenting you for it because in my head, like you were the thing that I wanted to be and the freedom that I wanted to experience, but I felt stuck. And seeing your freedom put a spotlight on myself and showing that I wasn't willing to free myself. So I think it just triggered me constantly and I avoided it rather than facing it. But then God was like, you can't avoid.
And it would always be so
Go forth, my child.
We both knew what was happening the whole time. We
Yes.
both knew, okay, we're in a state of separation.
Yes.
But then we have to face each other every single time.
And then we're so fake with one another. But not fake. It's just our energies never truly like met one another again. We would completely
and
live.
We would miss eye contact because the moment you look at each other, you break down.
And you have to be strong. You're committed. Anyway, okay. Your idea of it.
I questioned and doubted the future of our friendship when. So I think you know this one already because we've spoken about it.
We speak about everything.
We speak about everything. I've always been like a lone ranger kind of person where it's never been important for me for everybody to like me because I grew up with a very peculiar personality as a kid where people automatically weren't attuned to being fond of me. So I learned that my intentions with people were more important than what people thought. So in my dynamics with like my sisters and my best friends and things over the years, I'd be that person that if something happens to my friend, I would stand up for my friend even if I looked like a whack job because I wasn't scared of like people judging me for that because I felt like I was standing up for something right. And I think you were the first person that I had the experience with the opposite where this person cares a lot about me, but they didn't do that in situations where I might have been around people that weren't very kind and I felt like you didn't have my back. But I also learned something so beautiful about myself, which is why I don't see it as necessarily this negative thing. I feel like it's something that was so important for my development because I had to also get to a place where I can realize that you aren't built like everybody else and vice versa, and you can't have that expectation. And there are usually reasons why people act the way they act. And had you had the confidence and the comfort in those moments to be braver and stand up for the person who I know you love, you would have done it, which means you were actually in a vulnerable position as well. And I had to go through that to experience it and not resent you for not backing me in those times, because it would feel like how do I put it in words? And perhaps it was in the periods where we were missing each other that this would happen, where we were on different phases. But if I had an encounter with somebody, which wasn't overt, because I'm not a confrontational person, but my mind would think that you would go, I back you, B, but then like I would turn around and you'd be like very, very friendly with that person and they'd think you're besties and everything. But then I realized that's your way. And that's beautiful in its own way. But I must say, the leaving Sieve and Laan for me wasn't a moment where I thought, like I doubted the friendship. I think the doubt came because of that. And then leaving was never in my mind, we're going to stop being friends. It was, we need to separate and just breathe and then come back to each other. Because I know deep down inside who you are and I know deep down inside who I am. And I know that just like with anybody in the world, we've got things that we go through highs and lows and we're in each other's faces the whole time. We were working together in scenes where you cry, you fight and all that stuff on camera and then you come back to a little dressing room and you're in each other's faces and then you go home and you spend time together. So we needed space.
We needed space.
But I must say, and we've had this conversation before, the growth in this friendship, not just friendship growth, but individual growth because of the friendship has been remarkable. So there's nothing in here that is problematic to me. Because I could experience all this, but have this great undertone of like love and loyalty and to still be here. That is very special.
No, and I think we're probably going to like, with every year, we're going to learn more things and discover more things within ourselves and change. I think our baseline is friendship. We spent enough time to lay our foundation and to kind of take our time before building a mansion. And I hope that the next 5 years is us starting to kind of build the mansion. And then the years after that is like putting in a roof. And the years after that is decorating it. And so, but I don't think it's ever going to change that we're going to grow. But I adore the stability of our love and the commitment to stay in this friendship. I think the easiest thing, maybe the hardest thing, but the easiest thing for me, because I used to like just write people off and then move on, because I didn't have the accountability in friendships ever. I had it in relationships with a boyfriend, but I didn't necessarily have it in friendship. And for the first time, you kind of held me accountable for things. And I've grown more in this friendship that I've actually grown in a lot of like even like intimate relationships. So it is lekker. It hurts. Sometimes it hurts, but it's pretty.
But how beautiful isn't it to have, to when you can identify how important platonic friendships can actually be. I feel like people underestimate that.
I did.
Especially in this industry.
Yes. No, in all honesty, I think it's a lot of the times more powerful than your intimate relationship. If you have multiple sources of your happiness, then you will never put pressure on a person to be your everything. And that's 100%. Something that I've learned through being like your friend and expanding my horizons in not being so close-minded, because I wanted my intimate relationship to be my everything, and then you came along and I was like, oh, but that, like I have a lot here and a lot here, and it took some times to kind of release my idea of life and embrace what it's meant to be. Rather,
what is one thing you wish I knew about you? That you
don't already know.
Yes, if you had to think of just one thing that you wish I knew about you right now.
I think you know this, but like I would like you to know that I really fight for our relationship in my own being. I think I'm slightly more guarded than I ever thought I was, and you triggered me a lot by mirroring myself to me or calling me out on things, and I ran away a lot. But yeah, I've grown, but I'm still growing. I think that's the thing. Like, you are years ahead of me in friendship, and understanding friendship dynamics, if I can say that. And I came inexperienced to you. That sounds weird. But yeah, so it's basically a day doesn't go by where I don't regard you as my best friend that I will hopefully for the rest of time be able to love and adore and support and see you fly.
Fly like a butterfly.
Better. No.
What is one thing that you feel I could do different to support you better as a friend?
I'm going to answer this and then I'm going to throw both back at you. So what I would like to do differently. See, but that is difficult for me because you are such a nice soundboard and you never tell me what to do. But sometimes I'm absolutely lost. And I would like you to tell me what to do.
I'm scared I'll give you the wrong advice.
Yes, but that's also like cowardly from my side. But no, I'd rather just tell you to keep doing what you're doing. Like, I adore your honesty.
There has to be something. Maybe the way I don't reply with enough emojis.
Yes. But I have spoken to you about it. Sometimes I think you're mad at me just by messaging. And then I'm like, is everything okay?
What do I do that makes you think I'm mad at you?
I think it is because when you speak to me, you have a lot of love and energy within our conversations. And it's more my interpretation. So technically it's on my side that I have to work with, but you can help a little. Because it's not well, now you're getting better though. You go, hi, my boobly, like, it's not cute, but sometimes you just kind of give me a one-liner.
What are you doing?
What are you doing? Or, yard is okay. And then I've said, like, I miss you, I love you, like this entire paragraph, and you respond with like 2 lines of, I'm busy, but we'll make a plan. X. Okay, well, what can I do differently in our friendship?
Nothing.
Nia?
Oh, Nia, jy kan. If we make a spur of the moment plan, just say yes.
Yes, I can do that.
I'm not the most impulsive person, but if I tell you, let's quickly go walk on the beach, don't go.
That's true.
I just need to quickly plan my day.
That is so true.
I love the impromptu.
I can be better.
Because then you're also impromptu. And then we're both off guard and we're both looking probably whack because we weren't dressed, no makeup, nothing, and we have the best time.
Yeah, I can be better. I wonder where that comes from. I still have to work through that trigger and trauma, but you'll be there for the soundboard. Okay, what was the other question you asked me beforehand?
Something that you wish I did differently.
Oh, no. Something that you wish I knew about you.
I don't think you know this. What
is that?
I think and I don't blame you for that because I tend to have that impression. I think you think I have the capacity to just build a wall and walk away. Because I'm very good at setting boundaries. So like how earlier you said you were afraid of losing me.
Yeah. But I think that's mostly my issue because I
feel like it's a bit of both because I'm quite selective about the energy I allow in my space because I'm a sensitive and vulnerable person. So I do create very strong boundaries. But one thing I want you to know is that the alive!
You called it! You said you're going to say something and the live is going to fall.
What does that mean? But let me see if I can tie it into what I was saying.
That's great.
Alive. I was going to say, I will have your back till you die. That's what I was going to say.
And that'll make us live.
No, but genuinely, I want you to know that I come from a family where, especially my dad, like loyalty is everything. And not blind loyalty in the sense that if you're going to kill someone, I'm just going to make as if it wasn't an issue. But I'll definitely come and visit you in jail and always love you. Yeah, I'll always have your back.
Right.
And I really want you to know that.
Thanks.
That you don't need to live in a state of fear. Not that you do, but like...
No, I think you know me enough to know I do.
Because there are times where I can sense if I'm quiet for a bit longer than you're used to, you'll be like, did I do something wrong? I'm like,
I do.
I want you to know that if you did something wrong, I'd probably say something, which hardly ever happens. But if I am gone, it's because there's probably my own things going on, but I'll always have your back.
There's more. I like our friendship.
I also do.
Good.
One last question.
Okay.
Before we wrap it up. What is your favorite memory and then your least favorite memory of our friendship
together?
And by least favorite, I would say that could be something you learned something from, but it's just a thing that was not a nice thing to experience.
Okay, between the two of us, or where we were in a situation where it wasn't nice, but we were a team?
I think just us being in the same scene together.
Okay, cool. Yeah. I'm going to start with the least nicest, and then I want to go to the nicest one. I'm thinking of something that recently happened, like a good or a bad, or an experience that... Can I tell the bathroom one, but the recent one? Because I think like people should... When we were followed.
Oh.
I think that's like a cool...
Yeah.
Okay, so the one that happened in the last year that I think was a very cool experience, to have it with somebody and with you, that we were both on the same level of understanding how wrong it is, but also that it happened so quickly. And it just, when we were at that dancing place and we went to the bathroom together, and like, you're the only person I will pee in front of. While you turn your back towards me. And then when we entered, a man followed us in and locked the door behind him. Yeah. That was scary.
But it happened so quickly.
It was so quickly, and
he gaslit you.
Yes, I remember you just went like, you just stood there and you looked at me, and I went full on masculine energy. And I swore a lot. Yeah. I pushed him out. And then when I closed the door, he just laughed at me.
Yeah.
But it was so... I loved the fact that you experienced it with me, even though it was traumatic. And we actually I think we just reacted the way humankind does and laughed about it, because what can you do about it? Yeah. But it was so messed up. And I think that would be one of the scariest things that I've experienced, but that we were together. It wasn't the scariest between the two of us, but it was a nice learning curve for me to go, this happens and you're not special to think it will not happen with you, but here's someone else, so you cannot be gaslit if this ever happens again.
But you were you were instinctively just like to this guy, and just had him out there. But I was still processing.
Because it happened in split seconds.
Was he behind you or behind me?
You walked in first, I followed,
and then
I turned and to lock the door. As I turned, he was in and he locked it. And then I was like, no, this is not happening. And he was like, why?
Yeah.
Why? And I was like, are you kidding me? Yeah. So, okay, crazy. Best... If we have time?
Yes.
Okay. Best experience.
You have to go first now.
Oh, okay. Well, the day we first met.
What happened the day we first met?
So I wanted to see who is on the show before I entered again. And I remember seeing this girl, and she's like so talented and so vibrant. And my mom is a huge critic, and my mom went, this girl has it. Like, she has the X factor. And I remember you we were everyone in a dressing room, and I didn't know a lot of people. And he was so sad because your best friend on the show left. And I was low-key and like, I'm still in awe of you. But then I was like, in awe, because I didn't know you choose me, you know? Chase energy. And then you said you were so sad that your friend left. And at first I complimented you and said you were absolutely beautiful and divine, and I love seeing you on screen. I still do, so that's a good thing. But then I went, well, I'll be your best friend. Out of nowhere.
Big,
but I remember
eyes.
you just went, oh, thank you. It's kind of like, okay, that's cute. Kristen with my foot in my mouth. So yeah, there are many more, but I will forever, that is engraved in my brain as the most beautiful meet cute that I've had in a long time. Okay, yours.
I love that. But wasn't it your birthday like a week later?
It was, and you made this you made an event out of it. And usually my birthday is just a day.
I think it had to sink in for me, your offer to be my best friend, because you moved in the day Dimple finished.
Yes.
And you were at her desk and she hadn't gone yet. And I was very loyal to her, and I was like, I'm not ready. But then you're undeniable.
But then you gave me like a mud cake. Remember that?
With a bunch of candles.
That was cute.
It was like pouring out to the side.
It was very nice.
My favorite memory is we went to watch a game together and we had an Airbnb. And somehow the planning didn't work out well, so that the place was small and we ended up in a room and it was freezing cold. And there wasn't a heater that worked.
Yeah,
and we forgot our socks. We couldn't wash. It was just a lot. And there was one bed. We had to go to sleep. And I felt you like coming closer and closer. Mind you, like we weren't like physically affectionate friends for the longest time.
No.
And I felt your I don't know if you can feel someone's body heat because you weren't actually touching me.
I do.
But I just felt like a movement. And then eventually I'm like, are you trying to cuddle? But you were so shy about it.
Yes. Like, you can if you want to. Like, okay, thank you.
And it was so cute and so safe. And also I was freezing because I forgot to pack in socks.
I remember our feet were like on top of one another.
I'm a germaphobe. We didn't shower. I wasn't just afraid of your germs. I was afraid of my germs going on to you. But it was just so cold, and then one of my favorite memories.
Oh, we didn't even shower. We hated that part. But there wasn't warm water. Remember, there was something ridiculous.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
It's like when you reminisce on a relationship, like in the old days when we lived in a shack.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to wrap it up. I just want to thank you so much for joining me. And the reason I regard you as someone that has changed my life is because you really have. And through all these experiences we've spoken about, the good, the scary, the not so good, they all ended up with a massive lesson at the end. And I feel blessed to have you in my life and excited to wrap up my 20s knowing that I have such a great person in my circle. And I want to thank you for your contribution and for your open heart and for always striving to be your best. And I can't wait to see where your future takes you and to support you through that and to have you next to me as I go and I do my things. Thank you so much.
One of the biggest privileges of my life. And it will continue to be so. Bye, donkey. I love you.
I love you too.
Yes, we made it.
Thank you so much for watching the episode. If you've made it up until now, well done. Because we just went on a run. But hopefully the honesty and the communication inspires you guys to get deep with the people that matter most in your life, because just because things have been difficult at times doesn't mean that they don't matter and that they aren't part of a bigger picture. Thank you so much for being with us, and thank you to Nifty Studios for hosting us and the team. Have a lovely day. Bye.